In this next section of our notes, we're going to just solve the equation. So number 3 is going to be 3 plus 4 times x plus 6 equals 31. So some people are tempted to add 3 plus 4 first. However, this would be an incorrect step because remember, we have to take care of grouping symbols and multiplication before we can add. So what we're going to do is we're going to just bring down this 3 and we're going to do 4 times x. So this is going to be a positive 4x. And then we're going to do 4 times 6, and 4 times 6 is a positive 24. So now we can combine our like terms. Now again, we need to be very careful that we include the sign in front. So this 3 has an understood plus. It's understood plus. And then the 24 has its positive as well. So 3 plus 24, we're just going to combine those together, and that's going to equal 27. And then we're going to bring down the plus 4x. Again, the sign goes with the 4x. And this equals 31. So now this is a two-step equation. Again, this 27 has an understood positive in front. So we're going to subtract 27 from both sides. So that's going to leave us with 4x equals 4. And then we're going to divide both sides by 4. So x equals 1. Now, our directions do say to check our solutions, so that's something that we're going to be careful to do. So over here, we're going to check. So 3 plus 4 times 1 plus 6 should equal 31 if we've done this correctly. So 3 plus 4, order of operations, 1 plus 6 is 7. So then we have 3 plus 28, and 3 plus 28 does equal 31. So that means we have checked this. This is a correct answer. So we're going to box our answer because that's correct. All right, let's look at number 4. So we're going to have 7x minus 6 minus 2x, and that's going to equal 12. So this one right here is a little tricky because some students think that they're going to distribute the 7x, and that is not the case. Remember, there is a number in front of this parentheses. If this 7x is not touching the parentheses, therefore there is an understood 1 right there next to the parentheses. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to bring down the 7x, and we're going to multiply negative 1 times 6, which is negative 6. And then negative 1 times negative 2x, which is a positive 2x. Probably the most careless mistake I see is not remembering to do a negative times a negative. So now, again, finding our like terms, so 7x, and that is a positive 7x. And this positive 2x, when we combine those together, we get 9x minus 6 equals 12. So now it's our two-step equation. Add 6. 9x equals 18, and then divide by 9. So x equals 2. Okay, so again we're going to check this because the directions do say to check it. Sorry guys, my computer's going a little crazy today. So 7 times 2 minus 6 minus 2 times 2 should equal 12. So 14 minus 6 minus 4. So 14 minus 2, which is 12. So that is the correct answer. Okay, let's look at number 5. 3 halves times x minus 5 equals negative 6. Now, most likely your first instinct is to distribute this, so we will do that first. So we're going to have 3 halves x minus 15 halves, which equals negative 6. So then we would take and we would add 15 halves to both sides. Or maybe you might get rid of the fractions first. It's kind of your call. So 3 halves equals, when we add those together, we get 3 halves. And then we'd multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Please don't forget this step. So x equals 1. So that would be one way to solve this equation. However, there is another way. And it might be a better way, in fact. So if we have 3/2 times x minus 5 equals -6, same problem. Instead of distributing this 3/2, we can think of this as being times. 3/2 times the parentheses here. So we could actually get rid of this 3/2 by multiplying both sides by the reciprocal first, because this is a product. It's just two factors being multiplied. So what would happen is that this 2/3 right here, that would become 1. And we would be left with just x minus 5 equals, and then -6 times 2/3 is going to be -4. So now this is a little bit simpler problem. We can add 5 and x equals 1. Same answer, a little bit quicker way. Now I will warn you, this only works if you only have distribution on one side. If we had any like terms that we had to add or subtract to this, it wouldn't work, so be careful. Alright, so number 6 I want you to try. So I'm going to give you the problem. I want you to try doing the same method I just did over on number 5. Okay, and one of the reasons that I would do it that way is because if you look at these numbers, distributing 8/7 times 3 and 1 is going to be very nasty. So I want you to try getting rid of the 8/7 first. When you're ready, turn the video back on and check to see if you've done it correct. Alright, at this point we're going to turn the video back on and we're going to check our answer. So if you're not quite ready, go ahead and push pause again, because here's the answer. So your answer should be x equals -9. Now again, if you try to distribute this first, it's possible, it's just going to be really ugly, because you're going to have 24/7 x minus 8/7 equals -32. Whereas if you look ahead and you multiply both sides by 7/8, you actually get this nice number over here on the right side, this -28. Alright, if you got this one right, give yourself a little smiley face here in the corner of your... Wow, that's a funky looking smiley face, isn't it? Let's try this again. Give yourself a little smiley face, or if you got it wrong, give yourself a frowny face, because that's one we need to look at later. Alright, let's look at number 7. 2 times x minus 3 minus x minus 7 equals 17. So again, I want you to try this problem. When you're ready, turn the video back on to check your answer. Alright, we are going to check our answers now. So the answer to number 7 is x equals 16. So just some little things to remember. When you're distributing, you have to distribute the 1, the understood -1 here. 2 times x and 2 times -3. Combining like terms means you're just adding. So 2x minus x is x, and -6 plus 7 is 1. And then hopefully you remember to check so you know that you got this one right. Alright, so number 8. We're going to have 27 equals 3x minus 3 times 6 minus 2x. So again, I want you to try this problem. When you're ready, turn the video back on to check your answer. Alright, so number 8, if you're ready to check, the answer is x equals 5. Okay, so again, you should have checked your answer. Some common mistakes are, again, remembering to multiply this negative times a negative, which is a positive. And that's probably the biggest one here, is just remembering that a negative times a negative is a positive, or 3 times 2 is 6, not 5. That's, again, a common error. So if you got this one correct, if you will please give yourself a smiley face. If you got it wrong, give yourself a little frowny face. Again, so we can talk about it tomorrow.